Update 1.0 is the biggest update in Satisfactory, and it's coming out on the 10th of September 2024. I am excited, and I know that a lot of you are as well, but it's raised a few questions. Should you start over in Satisfactory 1.0? How much is going to change, and will it be worth it? Well, that's all personal preference, but I will be telling you about some major changes that will 100% be affecting your world, and give you my honest answer at the end of today's video. Watch this video for more information about everything that we're going to discuss, but without further ado, grab a snack, grab a drink, smash that like button on your way in, and let's begin the video. So, why start over? Well, there's a lot of reasons to. Firstly, new recipes. From what we know of so far, and again there's probably going to be many more, computers, radio control units, heavy modular frames, and encased industrial beams all will be having new recipes in Satisfactory 1.0. Some of them are going to have less items than before, but a few of them are a bit more hefty to construct. Again, I have got that video breaking down the new and old recipes that I do recommend watching after this. These new recipes alone will most likely cause your mid to late game factory to have to undergo big changes, especially depending on the way in which you've constructed said factories. In some cases, if you're lucky, you'll be consuming less resources like I mentioned previously and with encased industrial beams. However, for something like radio control units, you now need double the amount of computers. And not everyone has double the amount of computers on standby. And that's just one recipe. I have got a feeling that most computer recipes in Satisfactory 1.0 will now require double the amount as before. I will make a video when we get the official list of all the new recipes of anything in Update 1. So, if you do like Satisfactory and if you are interested in any more 1.0 information, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. But moving on, we have new nodes. Luckily, we know all about the new nodes, as well as nodes which have an increased purity, a decreased purity, or nodes that are being entirely removed. I have discussed this topic before, but it's very important for this video, so let's do a very quick recap. And here it is. At first, this might look rather confusing, but we'll break it down in just a second. As you can see, we have got tons of nodes being removed and added, especially quartz over there. We've got a ton of coal being added down here. Quartz and limestone and sulfur being sprinkled all across the south and west side of the map, including some brand new coal nodes up here as well, which is very close to the Rocky Desert deploy points, which is pretty awesome. We've got all of these nodes being removed here, and this is an area that's prone to having tons of people starting here, and you might be using these resources, or any of these resources, and they are all going. That's a huge difference. We've got uranium being added, a uranium purity being decreased somewhere else. But let's make this image a little bit simpler to understand. Starting with increased purity, we can see that this raw quartz is going from normal to pure, and that this caterium is going from pure down to normal, which might suck until we get onto the second image. When we check the decreased purity, we can see that this caterium ore is actually decreasing. So these two caterium nodes are basically just swapping around, but also as you can see, the amount of sulfur appears to be decreasing. That's 5 sulfur nodes all going, but luckily it does get slightly better. Not right now, because we're talking about the removed nodes, and this is where a lot of people are going to struggle maybe on previous saves. You've got a bunch of caterium being removed, a bunch of quartz. If you're like me and like 95% of other players, you have a massive quartz factory over here or a massive quartz facility over here, tough. That's all being spread across the map now, and it looks like some other quartz are being moved as well, some coal. So yeah, this does kind of suck. But lastly, we see the nodes being added. Yeah, there's quite a lot. So originally, let's say you had a factory down here. You've now got about 2,753 coal nodes spawning right underneath you, and limestone, and iron, and sulfur, and a Geisler, I think it's called. and some quartz are over here that's being moved, and a bunch of caterium and iron. So this is one of the main reasons as to why you might want to start over. There's so many new nodes. There's decreased purity, increased purity, removed nodes, and in total it's a bit of a kerfuffle, especially if you're late game. Thirdly, boredom. From a few comments I've read underneath these videos that I've been making, it appears that players are starting to get bored of the game. Same nodes in the same place, producing the exact same items for the exact same products, in the exact same biome, etc. But now with 1.0, that somewhat changes, and like I explained with the nodes, they are adding so many new nodes, removing the purity of some, straight out removing a few, that it's actually going to make things interesting, because you're not doing the exact same thing. You're changing things up a little bit in a unique way, which you might not have been expecting. For example, imagine eating a lasagna in San Francisco, and some guy comes along and grabs your lasagna and throws it to the floor. The lasagna isn't destroyed, you've now just got a spaghetti bolognese instead. And that's what is happening in Update 1. These nodes aren't getting destroyed, just thrown around. And hopefully this would excite some players to potentially come back to the game. That's also why they're changing some recipes as well. This next point is a bit more niche, but you might want to choose a new starter location. You might have started in the Dune Desert previously, but you wish to have started in the Greenfields. Well, now in Update 1, it's a good excuse to. So start wherever you want, you can enjoy yourself, and again, it's a new update, it's a good excuse to start over for a lot of people. Moving on now to strange alien metal ore, plus confirmed new machines. What will SAM ore be used for? We don't exactly know as of the time of making this video. But my theory is that it will be used for crafting space elevator parts. This is obviously huge, and I explain more in this video, where we break down the 1.0 trailer. But if SAM ore was to get added in 1.0, that could mean a lot of new resources for potentially a lot of different parts. Again, this is really exciting, but not many people have planned for it. And with the new SAM parts, it might produce a gas. How would you transport it? Trains? Then you need train stations. Oh, it needs quartz? And you're using all the quartz in the world? Well, in Update 1.0, we're actually losing quartz, so now you're screwed. And what if SAM ingots are a major part of certain recipes, such as batteries? So now you can't produce any batteries until you have a fully automated SAM ore facility. But no batteries means no drones. No drones, it means no resources for a lot of key parts. And what do people use a lot of drones for? Nuclear facilities. So now your nuclear plant's overflowing, your power is cut off, your world's on fire. This is not good. And I know it might be a bit overdramatic, but my point is, SAM could change your game forever. But we won't know until 1.0. Additionally with SAM ore, we also get new machines for it, and this thing is massive. I did make a community post talking about it, but let me know down in the comments below, what do you think this bad boy is able to produce? Is it producing a liquid? Is it a gas? Is it a space elevator part like what I think it is for? Again, let me know in the comments down below, because I love reading your opinions about 1.0, it's amazing. Also, your factory might just be packed to the brim, and you might not have enough room to add this behemoth of a machine, because it's blinking massive. So again, that would require a lot of changes, and a lot of people simply can't be asked to do it, including myself. Lastly, fuel power, and again, I have talked about this before, but this is what is happening, do not be confused. Before, one fuel generator was able to produce 150 megawatts using 12 liters of fuel. Now, a generator produces 250 megawatts for 20 liters of fuel. However, the conversion rate is still the exact same. 1 liter produces 12 megawatts if you're using the regular fuel recipe. Luckily, it's not a major issue, just remove a few of these and that's it. Like, you're not having to add any more oil, any more fuel, nothing like that. It's just having to remove fuel generators, but it will still cause a bit of an issue in your factory, just to let you know now. So those are the major points that I've discussed. Of course, there's a few niche ones in there as well that I didn't really touch upon. But at the end of the day, this is my opinion. Should you start over? For most people, the answer should be yes. But not for everyone. Some people won't want to change their world. And if that's you, that's okay. Just know that you're most likely going to have to do a lot of work depending on what stage of the game you're in, just to get your factory back to normal. Also, you might have just started a new world, and these recipe changes and node changes and power changes just wouldn't have affected you yet. But for people like me that might have planned ahead or simply, again, cannot be asked to redo major parts of the factories, might enjoy starting over. And for me, I would definitely be starting over on September 10th, where I will live stream some Satisfactory 1.0, and I'll be starting a brand new series on this channel. So again, if you like Satisfactory, make sure you are subscribed, because we have got a lot of it coming out soon. Thank you for watching, everyone. Have an amazing rest of your day. Godspeed.